Okay, so first thing you're going to do to replace this leather piece on the seat that's worn is 4 of these 14 millimeters. So just use any 14 millimeter on an extension to break them loose, and then after you do that, you can use your impact to get them out all the way. It's 1. That's 2. Don't disconnect the connector yet, and after you get the 4 bolts out, we're going to disconnect the battery. Okay, so in the back here, these plastic pieces, just like in the front, all you do, there is 1 tab here and then 2 tabs here. So what you do is you push up here and then pull straight back, and it'll just like unclip. And then 2 more bolts there. Remove those, and then we can undo the connector underneath. So then you're going to take your 10 millimeter and disconnect the negative battery terminal on the battery. Set it aside. Go back in the car. You're going to have 2 plugs here. This plug here controls all of your seat controls, as well as the cooled seats, which is this fan right here. And this yellow wire is your airbag, your seat airbag. So you always want to disconnect the battery before disconnecting any airbag plugs. And then your third one here, I'm not sure what that is for, but you're going to have 1, 2, 3, and all you do is you just push and then pull this straight back. It should come out. So this wiring harness has, yeah, that's it. And then there's a clip right here that you would just pull straight back. It'll come right out. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, so once the seat is inside, whether you have AC or heat, if you're in a cold climate, you're going to, by the way, here's the replacement. The replacement is off of eBay. It was $50, and it comes just like this. The dealer for the original leather wanted, I believe it was like $450, something like that, $470 just for this little piece. And honestly, the GX is you know, probably about $20,000 car at this point. I couldn't, you know, justify just spending $500, you know, probably with tax for just this piece of leather. So we have an aftermarket, which there's nothing wrong with it. And then now we can start working on the seat. We're gonna have to remove this panel here to get access to the fasteners on the side, as well as on the front, this plastic piece, as well as on this side. I will show you in a second. Okay, so next step is in the back here. There's going to be, I'm not sure what sensor this, I believe it's an actually LED light. That's what it is. So you're going to have to disconnect this wiring piece right here from the LED sensor, and then there's these 2 clips that just clip in to these metal little braces on the bottom. Then here you're just going to remove these 2. Just take your hands and just pull them off. Then on this side, all it is you just pull, take your hand like this and pull back here. And then here, you see how there's a tab? Don't break this. All you do is you slide this back like that and away. On this side here, there's going to be 1 tab right here on the bottom. Okay, where is it? Right here. Right there. See that tab? So what you're gonna do is just take this, pull this back towards you and down, and then basically work your way around the entire perimeter. Okay, so next thing you're gonna do is remove that panel here. There's gonna be 1 Phillips screw that's right there. Don't lose that, just leave it with the part. Then you're going to remove this cover here. This cover will just pop off. Be careful not to break the clips. I would not recommend using any pry bar tools. Try to use your hands because you could feel if something's breaking. With pry bars, you can just snap this off, no problem. Then on both sides, there's gonna be these plastic tabs. You're gonna pull this way and then out. Okay, so next, what you're going to do, by the way, I left this on. You don't have to take this off all the way, just be careful not to break it. What you're gonna do is remove all of your clips. So here's your first one. There's two on each side. Here's your little bracket. There's a little notch here, which it clips into. Okay, then you're gonna work on the front. On the front, there are these here on the sides. Then there's this big one in the middle. And the same, that one little guy right here on this side. And it clips into this, there's like a aluminum little notch frame around it. The last one is gonna be in the back. You're gonna lift this up. I believe this is, yes, this is for your side. So right here in the seat, there's an airbag on both sides. So be very careful not to damage this wire. This wire goes, be very careful with it. And then here's the last one here. This clip, this here, it's one large clip. I actually, believe it or not, try not to use any tools. I just use my fingers to get in there and pull it up. And then, let's see what else. This you're gonna have to unclip right here. So disconnect this sensor. I'm guessing this is for seat heating, potentially. The power and ground, yeah. And then this whole thing will slide out, set the seat back how it should be, and then in theory the whole cover should just kind of lift off with the foam material. One more quick little thing. So this harness actually, it will connect right in here. There's the 4 points, and this is for your seat heating. So there's going to be a clip right here. You just press these two tabs in and then pull off. Just fish your fingers under there. And then this little electrical tape and this electrical tape will be connected there and there. So this harness stays with, you see this little pad underneath? You're going to keep that. Very careful not to damage it because that pad is actually part of your seat heating. So this whole harness will, when you remove this, it will actually come with the entire lower part. All right, so basically what I did was I fished the harness for the seat heating through this area right here. So as you can see, this all stays. This is your vent for the cooled seats, I believe. And then what else? Yeah, everything here stays as it is. Don't touch anything, just fish this out. And now we can actually work on separating the leather part of it from the foam part. Okay, so next step is going to be to get all these metal clips off. So if you don't break them, you can reuse them, or what you can do is pull them off altogether completely. They go through these bars here, which you're going to reuse. You can actually use zip ties instead of these. So if you end up breaking them, it's no big deal. Just like on the bottom here, for example, these right here, not those right here. See, here's the clips. So it's almost like one of those, like a key ring type of deal. Now what you can do is you can completely take these off and reuse them with zip ties. All they do on the bottom is they just go through this fabric here, through the foam, just to hold these pieces off right here. And like here's one that broke, for example. No big deal. You can actually reuse it with a zip tie instead. All right, so we removed completely the old leather. As you can see, here is the pad. Essentially how this works is there's metal tubes in there, like metal, almost like clothes hanger tubes. You see there's one right there. And all these that I basically just cut off with some wire cutters. I'm going to replace all of these with zip ties. And all you do is you just zip tie the new leather to the actual frame, I guess you can call it. Now, what will we do? The one thing I wanted to show you is, since this is an aftermarket, as you can see right there, this is your seat heating element, I think they call it. So what we're gonna have to do is carefully transfer this over to the new cover. So I'm gonna do that carefully and come right back. Okay, so the new foam is cut out. As you can see, the holes for the cooled seats are also cut in the foam so that the cold air can have somewhere to go. This new pad is cut out, and now all you got to do is glue this on. I'm going to use the same high temp adhesive spray, and then let it dry for about, I would say, maybe 20 minutes or so. Okay, so the pad is transferred over. All it was held together with was these little tiny plastic, they're almost like the, you know, when you buy new clothes, same kind of deal. What I'm going to do is remove all of them. And I did notice when I was taking this off the old one that it was actually glued on. So what I'm going to do is use this high temp engine compartment spray. And the reason I want to use high temp is because I don't want this is obviously going to get pretty hot, pretty warm, and I don't want it to melt the glue eventually. So we're going to do that. And then afterwards, what I'm also going to do is this pad, you know, 150,000 miles, it's pretty worn out. So I'm going to leave this, but I had some of this very similar pad left over from a rifle actually I just purchased, and I'm actually going to cut this out and mimic this identically, and this with these holes in there as well, because these holes are actually for the cooled seats, which goes in here and out here. And I just want to do this to add a little bit of padding, because over the years it's just become probably not as soft as it used to be. So I'm also going to use this high temp spray on here and here before putting the new cover back on. All right, so it's assembly time. Also what I did was these bolsters here on the side, they were getting a little squished just over time. So what I did was I just cut out the old leather seat cover, and I used that same spray glue to put them on, just to give a little bit more support here, because they were all a little bit squished. And I didn't want to buy a new foam pad for it, because just this foam pad alone is like $200. So, all right. So next step is since I don't have those metal clips, I'm using zip ties for everything. So you're gonna want to install these. As you can see, they don't use the metal fasteners here. They use this plastic channel for the aftermarket seat covers. So just go ahead and pre-install your zip ties so that when you're ready to tie them down, you could simply just weave them through and then clip off the access. So first thing you do is you loosely attach all of the zip ties to that metal rod, and then when you put this in, make sure this slides into this channel, and then you're going to press on this side, press here, while at the same time pulling each zip tie all the way. And then once it's fully seated, then you can go and cut off these ends. All right, so almost done here with putting the new cover on the foam. For these, you use the zip ties, at least I did. Just make a little cut here, fish it through. Same on the other side, cut here, fish it through, pull it as much as you can so that it's tight. You're gonna want to cut the hole here for your harness. So here's the harness, and then the seat itself. I don't know if you guys can see, but we're looking really good. Everything's nice and tight, nothing's loose. Actually fits a lot better than I thought it would fit, being that it's you know, an aftermarket cover, but it actually looks great. So yeah, now time to put it back and button everything back up. Okay, so on here, make sure you connect everything back. Your light, there's going to be a plug under here that I showed you before for the heated seat in the back. Then you're going to route this. I use the zip tie there, and this clips back in, and then I used a zip tie right there as well. And then here's that main plug. Make sure everything is connected the right way. Here's your 1, 2, 3 that comes from the car. And then now what we're going to do is start working around the perimeter to clip this new cover into the frame. So then there's a clip. So there's one clip there, one clip here, this long one. There's another clip right here. Then there's this whole side part here. There's a clip underneath there, you press in with your hands. And then there's a clip, or not a clip rather, but this goes around and connects right here behind the swivel part. Not up here, down here, so it doesn't hit this these gears. Okay, so on this side, this clip here, what you do is you pull down in the material, it'll go over, and then you press right on top like this, and it'll just clip right in. And then try and think what else. Make sure this is in. Yeah, looks pretty good. I would say that I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm not going to show you guys putting the plastic back on, but overall it's nice. It's a lot softer. I mean, not a lot, but definitely noticeable. Before it was just kind of like flat, and these bolsters came out real nice too. See how they're nice and solid. Before they were just kind of like flat, so that you don't need much, just a little piece of material is clearly all that it takes to make them a little bit more kind of full, I guess you could say. And then everything there is tight. I'm also gonna clean this back part. Unfortunately, it doesn't match 100% because this is new and this is from 2014. So I'm just gonna clean this as best as I can before putting it in the car. And then you're gonna vacuum inside the vehicle also, the carpet obviously, and that's it. And I just want to show you real quick, the plastic surround is on. This right here clips over this edge and then it locks in. There's one tab here that clips over. It's like a metal tab, you'll see it. And then this presses in and you'll hear it click in along the edge here. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. This goes on the bottom like that. It's actually meant so that I believe stuff doesn't drop down in there underneath the seat. And that's it.